Hello everyone and welcome to yet another video from round 11 of the Tata chess tournament in Praggnanandhaa, the Netherlands. In this video we'll have a look at the game between Praggnanandhaa and Fabiano Caruana. So the game started off with Praggnanandhaa playing d4 and Fabiano played the Nimzo. So okay, if white goes knight c3 you get into the Nimzo, but Praggnanandhaa played the move knight f3 and this leads into more of Queen's Gambit declined type of positions. Anyway, Fabiano played c6, and this is actually known as a semi-Slav, right? So black builds this sort of diamond or triangle in the center. So Praggnanandhaa plays e3. This is known as the Moran variation. Knight bd7, queen c2, and this is all pretty standard. b3, both sides develop their bishops, and to be honest, I had quite a couple of games here as well myself. In this position, I had a couple of games where I played something like rook 81, rook 88, rook f1. And as you guys can see, both sides put their rooks in the center, and it's often a question who strikes first with e4 or black going e5. Anyway, Praggnanandhaa had another idea. He played the move a4. Alright, so with the move a4, he wants to go a5 and try to put pressure on black's queen side. So what does Fabiano do? He goes a5 to stop that. And now Praggnanandhaa goes bishop d3. And here we have a kind of interesting position. So if black ever plays a move like c5, that will always make the b5 square available for the white knight. So that's why Fabiano is a bit reluctant to do that. So we see a bit of a waiting game here. He plants his bishop on b4, rook ac1, and he goes h6, just slowly improving the position. Praggnanandhaa goes queen e2, rook 88, rook fd1, and rook e8. Once again, both sides are still waiting. Bishop b1, bishop d6, Praggnanandhaa goes rook e1, sorry, bishop b4, and rook ed1. So as you guys can see, he shuffled back and forth here. So if Fabiano would have played bishop d6, that would have been a repetition. And I mean, given the fact that Fabiano is almost 200 points higher rated, he did not want to do that, so he played the move rook c8. And here, Praggnanandhaa made, in my humble opinion, at least a practical mistake. I think in this position, he should have just played a move like h3. And just tell Fabiano, like, hey, you do something, right? I mean, black can play rook e8, but I mean, black can't just shuffle around forever. So h3 would have been a nice move. It improves the position a little bit. And once again, what is black going to do? If black goes c5, there's always knight b5, which is annoying. You can't ever challenge this knight because you cannot play a6 or c6. And I mean, e5 isn't great either because white has a lot of tactics. For example, takes, and then knight takes d5, and you hit the queen. So what is black really going to do, right? And h3, you always make a square for your king. Anyway, Pragg played knight e5, and this at least makes play a lot easier for Fabiano. He traded on e5, recaptures, and knight e7. So he's hitting the pawn on e5, Pragg played queen c2, and Fabiano took the pawn on e5, and there came queen h7 check, and queen h8 checkmate. Anyway, I hope you all enjoyed the video, and I look forward to seeing you all in the next one. Just kidding, this is not what happened. Of course, Fabiano saw that, and he played knight f8 to stop queen h7 checkmate. So Pragg played knight e2, and here a very nice move by Fabiano, b5, creating a lot of counterplay here on the queen side. So Pragg played knight d4, but here Fabiano came up with a very strong sequence. He traded on c4, and now traded on a4, and this is really where Fabiano takes advantage of the imbalanced pawn structure. Right, white has these doubled e-pawns over here, but with this whole sequence, he has now created a passed a-pawn for himself. He's hitting the knight here, and he's also opening up this bishop on b7. So there's always tactical ideas. Like, let's say the knight goes here, which is what white wants to do, and plant the knight on d6, but suddenly there's queen g5. And how are you going to deal with checkmate? I mean, you can go g3, but I mean, all these weaknesses over here. Let's say black goes something like bishop f3, and then goes for the lobster pincer checkmate. So Pragg didn't want any of that, so he played knight e2. Fabiano plays rook e8, and here he came up with another very methodical sequence. So queen c2, he traded off one pair of rooks, and now he traded off another pair. Because with these trades, the a-pawn only becomes stronger and stronger. Pragg played knight c3, and here once again, a very instructive sequence from Fabiano. He trades on c3. Now, Pragg cannot take with the queen due to queen d1 background checkmate. So Praggnanandhaa was forced to take with the bishop, and now another very good move, bishop e4. Hitting the queen, and you cannot take the bishop, because once again, queen d1 is back rank checkmate. Well, that's why h3 would have been useful. So Pragg was forced to go queen c1, Fabiano traded, but after all these trades, we now see that white's bishop is kind of passive. Now, I mean, the knight is not doing a whole lot either. But first of all, this pawn on a5 is very strong. And Fabiano is going to push it down the board. And he can activate his knight later. Like, it can come to d7 and b6 to hit the pawn on c4. Or come to g6 and maybe create some chances against the white king. So, Fabiano played a4, h3, a3. Once again, passed pawns have to be pushed. King h2 and queen a8. Putting the queen behind the passed pawn, it's simply going to push all the way up to a2. So Pragg played queen b3, a2, and blocked it with the bishop. Now queen a5. Now he's always ready to sneak in with, let's say, queen e1 or queen d2. So Praggnanandhaa played king g3, and now another very nice move by Fabiano. He played g5. Now he's ready to go knight to g6 and put pressure on this pawn, and also he can create some chances against the white king. Praggnanandhaa plays h4, trade, knight g6 check, king g3, and h5. He's using this h pawn as another attacker against the white king. Queen b2 by Praggnanandhaa, queen to d8, another very nice move. Now you cannot take the pawn on a2 because of check and checkmate. Of course, both players saw that. So Praggnanandhaa played f4, queen h4 check, king f3, queen e1. And this is a prime example of how you want to transition, how you want to transform an advantage. He's giving up the passed a pawn to go for a checkmating attack, right? Like, you cannot just be like, okay, this a pawn is the only thing I'm playing for. You also got to be looking for other things in the position. So Praggnanandhaa took the pawn, but after knight h4 check, king e4, queen f1, he resigned. There's simply nothing white can do against knight f5 and knight g3 checkmate. I mean, let's say go bishop here, knight f5. I mean, what are you going to do about this move? I mean, there's literally nothing you can do. Your king is completely blocked in. All the squares are taken away. So yeah, a very nice win for Fabiano. I think also very instructive. So yeah, I hope you all enjoyed the video, and I look forward to seeing you all in the next one.